Can I be honest for a second? Most side hustle advice for students is a joke. Like, yeah, sure, drop shipping and flipping things on eBay sounds great, but you've got a 9 a.m. lecture today and a paper due Friday. And maybe that works for someone, but most students I know are juggling classes, work, and assignments and trying to have maybe a small social life, and all that advice just does not fit. So in this video, I'm breaking down 4 real ways that students can actually make money. A real breakdown of what actually works based on stuff I've done. I wanted to make the video I wish existed when I was figuring this stuff out. I've actually been through a few of these myself. I've worked as a server, I've had an on-campus job, I even landed a part-time remote internship, and going through all of that taught me something I wish someone had just laid out for me early on. If you're new here, welcome. This is Wealth in Progress. We talk about money in a way that actually makes sense for where you are. Whether you're a student, early in your career, or just figuring this out, I just want to give you real practical steps that you can take right now. So in this video, I'm breaking down the 4 real ways that students can make money. Not random side hustle ideas, but actual paths that can fit around your class schedule that have real income potential. And make sure you stick around till the end so I can help you pick out which side hustle is best for you. First, real quick, I want to reframe how you think about side hustles, because most people treat them like a temporary fix. I need X amount of dollars to pay a bill, let me go do DoorDash. And that's totally fine, but you're leaving so much on the table. When you're in your teens or early 20s, every dollar that you earn or invest compounds longer than anyone else's. I'm not going to go super deep on this today because I have other videos about investing and compound interest, but just know that the $300 you make today is worth way more than the $300 you make 15 years down the line. We're not here just chasing quick cash. We're building income streams and skills at the same time. I want you to realize how important this is. Here are some key reasons why a little bit of extra income can make a big difference. First, extra income reduces stress. Every extra dollar that I earn and invest gives me a little bit more peace of mind. It helps to avoid unnecessary debt. If you can make just a little bit more each month and that saves you from using your credit card, that's a plus. Looking back now, I would have taken out way less loans my freshman year of college if I knew that I could consistently bring in money throughout the school year. It also helps you build real-world skills. A lot can be learned in the classroom, but there are certain soft and technical skills that can really only be learned in the workplace hands-on. The side hustle could be a resume builder. Some of these can be experiences on your resume that you speak about in interviews. Finally, there are side hustles that can teach you skills like marketing, sales, and negotiating. They can even turn into careers or your own business further down the line. Ultimately, our goal is not to become rich overnight. It's truly to give yourself more financial breathing room. College is expensive, inflation is real, and most students do not have unlimited time. Today, we're talking about side hustle ideas that actually work for students, not ones that just sound good for social media, but the ones that can realistically make you an extra $200, $500, or even $1,000 a month around your class schedule. Make sure you stay to the end because I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake people usually make when choosing their side hustle, and it's not what you think. Learning ways to increase my income has really changed the way that I think about money. Taking care of your personal finances is super important. I hope this convinces you to take it more seriously. Now let's get into the good part. Making the money. Now let's talk about the 4 real income paths. Path 1, traditional jobs. This covers any job where you're trading your time for money. I've worked in all kinds of traditional jobs. I've worked in retail, I've worked in food service, I'm currently still working as a server. Traditional jobs are a way to have reliable, stable income. However, you tend to have a fixed schedule, which means you have to be committed to showing up for that job. This also includes working an on-campus job, which I've also done. I worked on a student committee that organized volunteer events at a large scale, and I've also been a teaching assistant for a class. This is where most people start, and it's a great start because it's reliable. But since you're trading your time for money, the income is capped. So the pros are that it's easy to get and there's a stable income source, but the cons are that fixed schedule and a limited upside. So it's great for stability, but not so great for wealth building. Path 2. The next path I want to talk about is something I like to call flexible or self-structured work. Some examples of this include online roles where you could be a virtual assistant, or it could look like a remote internship. I've had a remote internship working part-time for a local nonprofit for the last 2 years of my college experience. This has offered me more flexibility than a traditional job would. I did a lot of work for them on my own time, and I was able to schedule it around my classes, my other extracurriculars, and even my other job. I got to build my resume and develop new skills, which I consider a better long-term payoff than a traditional job. If you're a student, I would recommend starting with any of the career resources that your school might give you. When it comes to internships and development programs, I found most of mine through those sources. I do want to say, don't let the word flexibility fool you, because it still is work. Even though you don't have to physically show up for the place, you are still putting in that mental work. There were definitely times I was more stressed about my remote job than I was for an in-person job. So while you have the pros of more flexibility in resume building, it's important to factor in that it's harder to get these types of jobs and the workload definitely looks different. But this is where work starts to feel like actual experience instead of just a paycheck. Now into path 3, skill-based income. I feel like this is the category students may overlook, but it's the one that you can actually scale. This starts by looking at any skills that you have that people will pay money for. This can really be anything: tutoring, social media, video editing, writing, design work. Whatever you're good at, these do take a lot of effort and time to build, but once you're good at something, you can charge money for it, and good money too. If I thought about this earlier in my college career, there's definitely some skills that I wish I honed in on. One that sticks out to me is photography. Once you get a camera and you know how to take the photos and you know a little bit about editing, people will pay you good money to capture their special moments. This path has even more flexibility than the one I mentioned before. You're working on your time, around your schedule. While the pros are that flexibility and higher income potential, the cons to be aware of is that it takes a lot of effort to learn, and you might not have that many clients when you first start out. You really have to learn to market yourself. When you're in school, you're surrounded by a community of people who are just waiting for you to solve their problems, which leads me into our fourth and final path, what I like to call campus economy hustles. This includes selling old textbooks or other items that you might not be using anymore. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I've sold old clothes that I no longer wear on Facebook Marketplace and made actual money. It's a win-win for me. Less clutter in my space and more money in my pocket. At the end or start of the semester, you can help people with moving. You can do other small services for people, like a haircut or doing their nails. This definitely depends on the demand, but this is a way you can make fast cash. There's little to no barrier for most of these options. There is an entire economy on campus that most students never tap into, and there might be services that you're not willing to pay for, but somebody else is. Now, let's talk about how to choose the right path for you. The biggest mistake I see people make is picking a side hustle based on what looks cool and exciting instead of what actually fits their life. They see someone making money on TikTok or YouTube and all these fancy ways. They waste all of their time on this side hustle that fizzles out when they could have been tutoring for $20 to $30 an hour next week. The hustle does not matter as much as the match. You need to match your side hustle to your actual schedule, goals, and skills. I'm going to give you several questions that you can ask yourself that'll help you decide which path might be right for you. First and most importantly, how much time do I have? This immediately determines if you can pick up a traditional job or if you should look at the other options. Do I need fast cash or long-term income? Do I want something very structured, or do I want flexibility? And finally, do I want skills or do I just want hours? Using those questions is a simple framework to come up with what your goal is for this job. If you value stability, an hourly job, whether that be on campus or at a nearby business, will be best for you. If experience is what you're looking for, remote work or an internship is definitely up your alley. Are you looking for personal or professional growth? Then you should look into skills-based income. And if you just need fast cash, really take a look into your campus economy. See what jobs you can get for quick money. If I was starting from square one again, I would definitely choose a traditional job. Once I have steady income, I can think about the skills that I can learn that will increase my money. That's the path I chose, and overall, it has been successful for me. Now, I know this sounds like a lot, but the goal is not to do everything at once. The goal is to understand what category fits you best right now. Even an extra few $100s a month can completely change your financial situation. And once you stop thinking in random side hustles and you start thinking in systems, making money as a student gets a whole lot simpler. Financial freedom doesn't start after graduation. It starts with the habits and skills that you build right now. Comment down below what path you're currently in or which one you might be exploring, and let me know if you want a breakdown on how to start in any one of these paths. If you like easy to understand money content, subscribe. If you're someone making money in any of these ways, consider watching my last video about budgeting, which goes over why a traditional budget might not be the best for you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Like, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, like, yeah, sure. Like, yeah, sure. Drop shipping. Like, yeah, sure. Shipping sounds great. I just want to give you real practical path 3, skill based income. might be what's best for you.